Alright, so the Game Awards wrapped up like a week ago, probably of the recording of this video, and obviously with the Game Awards comes game announcements. And I'll be honest, there were some games which I thought were going to get announced which didn't get announced. Annoyingly. So that gave me the idea to go and have a look of what games are actually coming out in 2026 and seeing which games I'm looking forward to and games where I think they might be a little bit overhyped. So first off, I'll start off with the new Star Wars that actually got announced at the Game Awards, which was actually one of the games I'm actually looking forward to. And that game being Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. I remember when I was a kid looking into Blockbuster, if you want to say, for the American guys. I can't remember what it was called in a UK store. Maybe, I can't remember what the store was called in the UK. Basically, the place where you could go and rent games. And I always remember seeing this one game on the shelf, and that was Knights of the Old Republic for the Xbox. And this was a game where I always wanted to play this game, and I think when it actually came out, I was probably not into that sort of genre of game. I like Star Wars. I think I've liked Star Wars since I was God knows what age, and I didn't own an Xbox. But it's always a game that I wanted to go back to and play, which I probably should. But what I'm trying to say is, it's an era of Star Wars where I've never dived into. I've never played any of the Old Republic games. I never played the MMO of Star Wars. And it's just that sort of era where I want to jump into with Star Wars. I wouldn't say I'm a massive Star Wars fan. Like, I have probably watched near enough every live action thing and the animated TV shows. And with a new Star Wars game coming out in that sort of era, I'm all here for it. And it might even make me go and play the older games beforehand to judge what that game is to compare to the others, which I probably might do. But that was probably my most hyped game for the Game Awards. Now moving on to another game, which I'm hyped for. This is probably the most hyped time for a game for the earlier start of the year, shall I say. And that is Marvel's Wolverine. This is a game that got leaked years ago and we didn't see anything on it for years. And then we got a trailer this year, which, I'm not gonna lie, made me even more hyped for this game. I got to the point with this game where I thought, it's either not going to happen, or when it comes out, it's just going to look a bit like not the best. I think I was wrong. This game looks hype as heck. This game looks gruesome, which is probably the one thing you want from a Wolverine game. There's people getting cut in half. I'm all here for it. I'm not weird like that, but you know, I'm here for that. And if it's anything like the Spider-Man games, those 3 games are just all nothing but fun. They're like the easiest games to platinum, I want to say, without getting bored. So yeah, I'm really hyped for Wolverine, and Wolverine's probably one of my favorite Marvel characters, I want to say. Not like favorite, but probably like top 3. But I'm really hyped for that game. Now, this is a game I don't know is actually coming out in 2026, but I have a feeling it might be, if not the earlier stages of like 2027. But I'll say 2026 maybe for now. And that is the Persona 4 remake. And this is coming from a not Persona fan. So I've played Persona games. I've played not a lot of them before people start having a go at me. You can't say this about playing the games. I've played probably about 10 hours or so of Persona 5, which is nothing. I know that game's about 100 and something hours long. And I did start playing Persona 4. I want to say I'm about 12 or so hours into that as well. And I'm enjoying what I'm playing of it. But then this game got announced, and I thought to myself, shall I just wait and experience this in this more modern era of game? Or remake, shall I say. So I put it on pause for now, but I am still wanting to go back on Persona 4. But at the same time, if I go on Persona 4, play like 100 hours or however long the story is, might be about 60 or so. Bear in mind, I don't have a lot of time to play multiple games at the same time. And then go to play this game and then not get the best experience from it because I've already experienced that story, if you know what I mean. Like, I want to experience the story probably the best it can be for the first time. And if that is going to be with a remake, then so be it. So I'll put that on pause for now. But I'm hyped for that. I've always wanted to complete a Persona game. Realistically, the only time I can ever complete these sort of games is on like a handheld console because I just end up playing other games on stuff. And I think these are very much like a nice handheld console game. So hopefully this does come out for like the Switch 2, or, you know, I might be able to get like a PlayStation Portable and play it on that. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it either way. The next game I'm excited for, but I think it might be overhyped. I really hope it's not, is Crimson Desert. This is a game that just looks too good to be true. This game just looks like it's taken so many elements from so many big games like Breath of the Wild, God of War, The Witcher, all those sort of aspects, and just chucked it into one game. And from what it looks like, it looks phenomenal. It looks massive and it looks really, really nice and detailed. But I just feel like it's going to be overhyped, and when it actually comes out, it's just not going to meet the mark. I really hope I'm wrong, by the way, because I want this to be a brilliant game, because this is my sort of genre, you know, that medieval RPG-esque Witcher sort of based era, you know what I mean? I am hyped for this game, don't get me wrong, and this is actually an early release of the year as well, but I just don't feel like it's going to meet the mark. Like I said, I really hope I'm wrong, but yeah, I am hyped for that game, but just not as hyped as I should be, I suppose. Another game where I hope it meets the mark, but again, I don't know if it will, is Fable. There's been a new Fable tease for like the last few years, and this Fable actually got delayed. I think it was meant to be coming out in 2025 originally, and then it's got delayed till next year for 2026. And I'm actually really interested to see what this does, and I'm really interested to see if this comes onto PlayStation, because my PC is ass and can't even run anything these days, and I don't own an Xbox. But I originally owned the Xbox 360 where the original Fables come out. I know the original Fable was come out on the original Xbox. I played the Anniversary Edition or the re-enhanced version, you know, I can't remember what the name is. But I've played Fable 1, I've completed Fable 1, Fable 2, and Fable 3. I think I've completed Fable 3 like 2 or 3 times, and that's probably my least favorite out of the franchise. Don't know how I've completed that one more, probably because it's shorter. But I really enjoy the Fable franchise, and the Fable franchise is one of those games where I've always wanted to play it on the PlayStation as well. If they brought a trio of this game out on the PlayStation, which comes with trophies, I'll probably go for the platinum on those. But that's here or there. We're talking about the new Fable game. From what I've seen of the new Fable game, I think this looks nice as well. But it's one of those. If you put it next to the older Fable games, is it going to be the same? It's been so long since you have a Fable game. Fable's got its own unique touch on some sort of RPG elements. It's kind of quirky in its own sort of way. And I always loved if you could choose like a good and evil side. I know you can do that in a lot of games, but I feel like it just felt different on Fable. And I feel like with a new Fable game, they're either going to do like what games sort of do these days after they haven't made a game for so long. They just decide to go a complete 180 in another direction and just like make it like a totally different game, not true to the franchise. Bit like Dragon Age, kind of. Again, I really hope this does meet the mark, but I just feel like, I don't know. I've just got a weird feeling about that one. Next, 007 First Light. I think this game looks really good, and I'm not like a massive James Bond fan. I've seen the majority of the films, but I couldn't sit here and give you like a extended amount of lore of James Bond. I don't even know if this guy's got a middle name. Has he got a middle name? I have no idea. But for the gameplay, I think this looks pretty good. It kind of gives me that Uncharted Hitman vibes. I think this is the same creators as Hitman, so that's why. And I think this might actually be a good game. I'm not majorly hyped about it, but I'll pick it up. And I think that might get a good reception from what I've seen of the game anyway. This might not be like a massively hyped game. This game will probably just go down as like a good game. Maybe it might not. We'll see. And the next game I'm going to talk about is High Guard, which was a big reveal at the Game Awards. How? So I think the concept of this kind of looks okay. You know, you've got your medieval clashed with a sort of normal sort of shooting game where you're riding horses whilst shooting guns. Not a bad concept. But this is the same creators as Titanfall and Apex. Titanfall nearly won Game of the Year, by the way, and I think Titanfall was an underrated game. Apex, obviously, it has its thing, you know, Apex does its own thing, and that succeeded in where it succeeded. But I'm just looking at this game and I'm going like, how many more of these do we need? How many more of these hero shooters do I need where they're free to play, they get a battle pass, everyone tries the same thing, and then you're gonna turn into Concord? No one really cares about this genre anymore. And if they do, they're already invested in their own one. You got Fortnite and Apex, and Warzone may as well be a hero shooter these days with the amount of skins they get as well. This sort of genre with all your hero shooters and all your battle royales really got me away from the multiplayer genre. Like, I don't play multiplayer games like at all. I think the last multiplayer game I played was Battlefront 2, you know, when it was hyped around like the summertime, and I actually enjoyed playing that. Could you say that's a hero shooter? Maybe, because you do play heroes and villains. There's literally a game mode in Battlefront 2 called Heroes and Villains, but I feel like just that works differently than this sort of genre. I've not really seen a lot of good feedback regarding this High Guard, and this might surprise me. I don't even know if I'll check this game out. I might because it's free, but like I said, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's an outdated genre at this point, and they've done so many of them, and I don't know if we needed another one. Like I said, Concord failed for a reason. I mean, Concord did look like not appealing at all, but I don't know. I think this one's going to be overhyped if people are overhyped about it. Like I said, I've not really seen people actually doing good reviews of this, but it's just annoying because this was the same creators as Titanfall, and you're not getting a Titanfall free, you're getting this. Anyway, let's move on. So I'll give an honorable mention to Resident Evil Requiem. I've only played a couple of Resident Evil games, I'm going to be honest, because I'm just a terrible person when it comes to horror games. I just can't enjoy them. I've played Resident Evil 7. I want to say I've got around 60 to 70% through the game. I did kind of enjoy the game, but every time I went to go and play it, I just got anxious of playing it. It's just me because I just don't really like horror games. I've tried to play Resident Evil 2 as well. As soon as Mr. X started following you around, I had to put the game down. Like, hopefully it's a thing I'll overcome, and I've done it with the same with Alien Isolation. Started that game, got through about 6 to 7 levels of it, and I just get too anxious with those games. I don't know why, I just can't enjoy them. Hopefully it changes one day. I've tried it like near enough for the last 3 years to try and get to a horror game, and I can't. But I'll give it an honorable mention because I do know some of the lore from Resident Evil because I've seen other people play it, and I'm hyped for people who are hyped about this game, if that makes sense. I think this game actually does look good. I think it looks good, but it's just not up my alley. But I would happily watch someone play this. Now I'm going to be saying a game where I think this might come out 2026. It's not really been revealed yet. Maybe when this video comes out, it might actually have a reveal, and if it has, then maybe there might be a video on screen putting it on there. Doubt it will, but that is Assassin's Creed 4 Remake. The news regarding this has been going around everywhere, and I'm really surprised this didn't get shown at the Game Awards. I was like banking on this getting shown because the amount of stuff is being revealed for it now. So I'm hyped about this game if and when it comes out because I did really enjoy Black Flag. It's not my favorite Assassin's Creed game, but I did really like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think I've completed that game about 3 times, and I've tried to max out the achievements or platinum it like 3 times as well. Never actually done it. I've been very close, so I have put a lot of hours into Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I am hyped for this game, but apparently there's rumors as well that it's going to be like the RPG elements of the newer Assassin's Creed games like Shadows, Valhalla, and Origins and stuff like that. And I feel like this can work in that genre because of how open the world can be with your boat. And it probably would be pretty cool being RPG sort of esque if you get loads of like side quests. If they do this game right, and they want to make it into an RPG, I would prefer it not to be. I would just prefer like a straight up remake. But if they did like re-enhance it with an RPG elements, I want like a load of side quests that actually mean something, not just walking up to a tree like NPC and just asking them what do you want, and then they just go and say, can you just go and dig up something over there for me? No, I don't want any of that. I want to be going over to my shits to different islands, maybe discovering sort of new vicinities and getting random ass side quests, you know, probably getting a side quest to go and hunt down some treasure. I know you kind of can do that on Black Flag anyway. You get like maps and then shows you where places are of treasure. But you know, like more like pirate-esque stuff. If they do it like that rather than Skull and Bones, like, because that failed, but, you know, I don't know how you can make a pirate game with Assassin's Creed Black Flag way back when, and then you bring Skull and Bones out and it's somehow much worse. Anyway, so just don't make it like that and we might be okay. But I'm hyped about this game, and I reckon this probably will come out 2026, probably the later half, because Assassin's Creed games usually come out every year, used to, and now I think they're like every other year, so why not put a remake in between one of your main entries? It makes sense. And I'll probably get this day one if it is received quite good. Another game which I think might be coming out in 2026, and I really hope this one does. It's another remake, Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas remake. I really hope there is. I really hope they just shadow drop, like they did this year with Oblivion, a Fallout remake in some sort of degree, so I can just book some days off and relive one of these games. Fallout's one of my favorite franchises, by the way. I absolutely love Fallout 3 and I love Fallout New Vegas. I like New Vegas more, but Fallout 3 is just behind that. And a remake of this, how they did the Oblivion sort of thing, I would absolutely adore. I've said this on multiple occasions. I just want a Fallout remake. If they shadow dropped it tomorrow, I might actually ring in sick. I'm that hyped for this sort of thing. Will it happen in 2026? I think there's a strong possibility, but I feel like there's maybe not because Bethesda just don't like making games at the moment that we want. Apart from Oblivion Remastered, I'll take that back. But, you know, they just, I don't know what's going on at Bethesda, but half the time they're just like, we keep quiet about everything. Elder Scrolls 6, man. Elder Scrolls 6 has not had any information regarding this game, and the last thing was like 8 to 9 years ago. When was it? 2018 this game got revealed, and there's still not been anything. Still not been anything. I don't think that's ever coming out. I'm putting that is worse than GTA. That is worse than GTA for not having a release date. We're not even speaking about Elder Scrolls 6 in the moment. We'll do that in another video. But yeah, Fallout. Just give me Fallout. I'll have the TV show when that's wrapped up. You know, when the TV show's wrapped up, shadow drop it. Shadow drop it after the TV show's done. The TV show will be done in like February or March. Do it then. Will it happen? Probably not. A game that actually surprised me, I'm actually hyped about, is Lego Batman. When this first got revealed, I think like in the summer of this year, you know, the trailer came out. I was so pleasantly surprised. I've played quite a few Lego games, to be honest. Not like in recent times, but I have played quite a lot of Lego games. And this one just looks brilliant. This literally just looks like Lego Arkham with like different elements from different games and different movies, all just brought into one. Just looks like a game. If you're a fan of Batman, you're gonna love it because it's got something for you in there. This might be a day one purchase for me. For a Lego game, I haven't played a Lego game in years, like I said, and I really want to play this one. Now, what I'm skeptical about, and this has had a lot of like reveals and stuff over the times, Phantom Blade Zero. From what I've seen of this game, it looks really nice, and apparently it's not going to be a Soulsborne game either, so apparently it's more like traditional sort of like PS1, PS2, like hack and slashy, I want to say. I'm hoping this is more like Devil May Cry than like a Soulsborne game. This might be more like a Wukong sort of game, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I've only seen certain things regarding this, but I'm not overly hyped for this. But from what I've seen, I'm very much intrigued by this game, and I do want to check it out. I'll give another honorable mention to Divinity that just got shown at the Game Awards. Now, I know this is the same creators as Baldur's Gate 3, and I think this is more a known game before Baldur's Gate 3. This was actually like one of their main franchises, I believe. And I've actually heard good things about the older Divinity games, and this trailer was absolutely nuts for this game. And this is a game where I do want to check it out, but at the same time, I feel like I should actually go and play Baldur's Gate 3 first, because let's just experience one masterpiece before the next one comes out, if you know what I mean. But I'm looking forward to this coming out, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not going to end up playing it day one. Hopefully, I mean, maybe times might change by then and I've played Baldur's Gate 3 all the way through and I'm hyped as heck for this game. I hope that happens, but I don't know if this has actually got a release date anyway yet. This might be next year. Possibly not, but yeah, but I'm open to this one. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Obviously, GTA 6. If you're not hyped about GTA 6, then you're just lying to yourself. So I'm hyped as heck for this game. I think everyone is, and we're just sick to death of waiting. Like, we are sick to death of waiting. Just bring me the game. I'm probably not as sick to death as waiting for this as I am Elder Scrolls. I mean, at least you're kind of getting a release date with this, even though it gets delayed every year now. But GTA is going to go in one of two ways. It's absolutely going to blow everyone away because they've been waiting for this long, and they're going to deliver some absolute friggin' masterpiece, which we've never experienced before, which we're all hoping on. That is literally what we're all hoping on. We're hoping it's going to be a masterpiece like Red Dead, better than Red Dead 2. It's got to be better than Red Dead 2. It has to be. The anticipation for this game is like no other. This is like going to be the game of the game. This game needs to be a game where everyone needs to invest in it in the next 10 years, like they have GTA 5. Will it happen? I'm sure it will. But if it doesn't happen and this flops, I don't think we'll be able to trust Rockstar again. I don't see it happening personally. I reckon this is probably just going to blow everyone away. I hope so as well. But yeah, there's some of the games I'm looking forward to and ones I think might be a bit overhyped. I think GTA hopefully is not overhyped. Let's just be real. Hopefully not. I'll probably end up finishing this video and then realizing there's a game that I've probably forgot. So if you want to put that down in the comments, if I have forgot any games where I should be hyped about, I could have mentioned the likes of Gears of War and Halo, but I've played some of the Halo games. I want to play the one that comes out on the PlayStation, you know, the remake of number 1. I'll play that. Gears of War, I haven't played like the last 2 or 3 Gears of Wars. I played 1 to 3 on the Xbox 360, loved them, but I haven't played one in years. E-Day is like a prequel though, so I might actually check that out because it come out on PlayStation as well. But yeah, these are some games what I'm looking forward to this year. Let me know what you're looking forward to next year and what you think is going to be overhyped. And if I have missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. If you've liked this video, please put the thumbs up on this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know. And make sure you subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time.